Why? BNB almost killed off Scott Clifton's Liam Spencer, and then didn't. If things had gone according to plan, the wedding between the bold and the beautiful Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Hope Logan, Annika Noel, this week wouldn't have happened at all. That's because the show's executive producer and head writer, Bradley Bell, had originally scripted a storyline in which Liam would die from a brain tumor, a dramatic shocker he ultimately couldn't go through with. As a writer, I feel like I have to do things that are unpredictable to keep people on their toes, Bell tells TV Insider exclusively. And for them to know that there's just about anything I might do for a great twist or a great payoff or wonderful scenes. But when it came down to it, I thought of the body of work that Scott has done and the incredible actor that he is, and I couldn't do it. I really struggled long and hard with that one. When TV Insider spoke to Clifton at the start of the story in April, he genuinely believed his exit was a done deal, which made the reversal even more surprising. There was this sort of trickle-down effect of knowledge, he recalls. There were times where Brad had made this decision to kill Liam, and I didn't know that, and then there was a time where I knew that, but I wasn't supposed to tell anybody else that. And then there was a time where I could tell other people on set that, but I couldn't tell the press that, and then there was a time where I knew that that actually wasn't happening, and so on and so forth. Despite the uncertainty, Clifton, who marked 15 years at the soap in July and has won 3 Daytime Emmys for his portrayal of Liam, stayed focused on the work. There was this, I don't know, epistemic gatekeeping happening for everyone throughout the entire process, he explains. While online chatter speculated that he might return to his General Hospital roots as Dylan Quartermain, the character he played from 2003 to 2007, Clifton kept his attention on what he thought was Liam's final chapter. There were people that were saying to me while I was still shooting this story, "Are you going to go back to General Hospital? Or, what are you going to do next?" he shares. And I had to kind of shut people down a little bit. Like, can you not ask me about that? I'm not ready to think about that. I just want to tell this story the best I can. I'm never going to have another story like it, and it means I'm not working here anymore, but I get to do this, like, love letter death story, and I really want to focus on that. Then everything changed with one unexpected phone call. At a certain point, it was Brad calling me at home, and he was really kind about it, Clifton relays. It was basically, I changed my mind. I don't want to kill Liam off after all. I was like, how are you going to do it? And then he said, I have some ideas. I hung up the phone and I did a little happy dance. Clifton was impressed by Bell's solution, that Dr. Grace Buckingham, Cassandra Creech, faked Liam's diagnosis in order to bilk his father, Bill Spencer, Don Diamont, out of money for experimental treatment to save Liam, a scheme meant to cover her ex-husband's gambling debts. Sure enough, he found the most clever way to keep Liam alive, given all the work he had done to establish that he had a giant tumor in his head, praises Clifton. How he did that and how he incorporated Cassandra into that storyline was so cool, as was getting to work with her. I got to have my cake and eat it too, because I got to have all these really salient, deep, wonderful moments and then not die, and not have to say goodbye. Instead of closing the book on Liam's life, Bell chose to turn the page, reuniting him with ex-wife Hope and remarrying the pair. I have such great appreciation for Scott as a human being and an actor, Bell adds. And after all that Hope and Liam have been through, to keep the character alive and see this family come together just won out in the end in my mind. Clifton doesn't take the reprieve for granted. I must have been among the luckiest any soap actor has been, just in terms of things working out about as well as they possibly could for that actor, he points out. It got good performances out of me, thinking I was leaving, so I was giving it my best shot. Not like I would have been slacking if I knew the ending from the beginning, but I really cherished that story, and I still got to stick around. The Bold and the Beautiful, weekdays, CBS. Read the latest entertainment news on TV Insider. Some stories are written to be tragic, others to be triumphant, and then there are soap opera stories that are both at once, destined to die, only to live again. That's the journey The Bold and the Beautiful took with Liam Spencer, portrayed for 15 years by Scott Clifton, one of daytime TV's most reliable, Emmy-winning performers. Soap Hub +1. The setup, a character at a crossroads. Liam Spencer has been a cornerstone of BNB since his introduction in 2010. He's been at the center of some of the show's most iconic love triangles, torn repeatedly between Hope Logan and Steffi Forrester, entangled in family dramas that span decades. But by 2025, the writers and executive producer/head writer Bradley Bell felt something had changed. The character had been written into a corner. Not because Liam lacked importance, quite the opposite. He had been present through so many twists and emotional turns that one might say the character had done it all. Romance, heartbreak, betrayal, forgiveness. Yet the dramatic engine had begun to sputter. What was left for Liam? How do you craft something fresh for a man who has lived so many lives on screen? Bell's answer was bold, a death storyline. The original plan, a poignant end. The idea was to give Liam a powerful exit, something that would resonate with viewers and honor the character's history. BNB planned to reveal that Liam had an inoperable brain tumor and was dying, setting up a deeply emotional arc that would see him face his own mortality. For Scott Clifton, who has played the role for over a decade and received multiple Daytime Emmys for it, this was not just another job. It was an opportunity to craft a love letter to the character. According to Clifton, Bell was upfront and candid about the plan. He explained why, in his view, it was time to close this particular chapter. Liam had been written into a corner, and the dramatic weight of a terminal illness would give the character's story a profound, meaningful send-off. Clifton approached the arc with gravitas, painting Liam's final days with raw emotion that honored all the moments, good, bad, and complicated, that defined him. In soap opera terms, this is the stuff of legends. The deathbed scene, the last confessions, the final goodbyes. For fans who had rooted for Liam through so much, it was a narrative steeped in poignancy.